My mom's been wanting grandkids for the longest, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Right. When I want that, then that's when we're gonna have it.
All right, ladies, for this topic, for Sister Talk, we're talking about having it all, right? Mm-hmm. Society puts all that pressure on you, your grandmother, your mother, putting pressure on you to have it all, right? Mm-hmm. The spouse, the kids, the house, the cars, the money, the clothes, the blunts, the bags.
The degree.
Got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was going
Ebony
freestyle.
Obsidian.
Wow, like those.
Forward.
The full government.
So, that's good.
That's not her, that's her government. I'm sorry. It's your government.
I feel you. I mean, there's definitely. I'm glad that I have really supportive people in my life. Like, I remember when I was going to college for journalism, and
Okay, Denzel.
semester in, I was like, hey, this is not for me. The reason is because I just was way too invested in the topics that I was speaking about that I just couldn't really contain that in a, like, professional for that type of setting way. So my family was very supportive of that, you know. It was more so of a, like, can you do it, though? You know what I mean? Which is a completely different topic in and of itself. But it's like, I didn't have too much pressure from family and friends. Thankfully, I know a lot of people do. So when I did decide that college wasn't for me, people were on board. I think people were just waiting to see what I was going to do with myself. So I didn't really...
What you doing with yourself?
What you gonna do?
Nothing.
Child. Nothing, child. We
Chilling.
This is your version of nothing?
I'm like, become a superstar? Okay,
You know,
copy that.
Copy.
I'm grateful, but you know, this is the path that I've chosen. So I've always been, since I was young, very, very, pretty adamant about doing the things that made me feel good, the things that made me happy, as long as it wasn't at the expense of people. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What about the juxtaposition of our male counterparts or our male siblings or cousins or family members? Do you feel like they have the same pressure put on them? Or maybe not the exact same topic, but the same pressure in some specific area? Like maybe no one's saying, hey, go get some kids, but they're like, when you gonna make some money? Like, I don't know.
I feel like I have a lot of male friends. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot. And I'm so happy that I'm working with you ladies because I do need more feminine energy in my life. I have a lot of female friends too, but the people I'm close with are male. Only because I don't know, something inside of me that feels like they need a lot of nurturing, you know? They need that understanding, they need that feminine energy. You know, they do, from a friend standpoint. The thing is with men, I understand the dialogue that we're having with the masculine and the feminine, but men, what we see as the pressure being put off, they are quote unquote not allowed to be emotional, not allowed to cry. So now they're building all those things up and they're becoming like these hardened shells and they're not allowed to be vulnerable and in their experience of what life is, you know? And so damn, that's pressure too, you know? And that's what affects us. And that's what our relationship...
we get the residual of that.
We get the residual of that. And that's what I really think it is. And at the end of the day, like, if your man want to cry, let him cry. Don't call him a bitch because he's crying. That's insane. That's insensitive to his human experience.
True.
That he has 75% water in the body just like you do. He's allowed to let it out and flush through and go through what he's going through. So I just feel like sometimes, absolutely, as women, I feel like sometimes society... we can be like workhorses because we produce everybody. Like without us, you know, obviously without men, but without like what's going on in here, this wouldn't be happening.
So KJ, do you put pressure on yourself to have it all?
Not to have it all, no. I have no expectation to have it all. I want what I want.
I like that.
I'm adamant about wanting what I want, but no, I don't want it all. I just want what I want, and I put a lot of pressure on myself for that.
To be true to that.
To be true to what that is. I mean, my family will tell you in a heartbeat. My mom's been wanting grandkids for the longest, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
When I want that, then that's when we're going to have it.
Right.
But
Is it pressure on yourself or is it accountability to yourself? Is it like there's this podcast and my sister was listening to about this guy was talking about, like, say you say to yourself, I'm going to work out every day this week, and one of the days you don't work out, you're not supposed to beat yourself up, but you are supposed to recognize, okay, I'm out of self-integrity right now. I'm not being integritous to myself. So is it an acknowledgement of that self-integrity, or is it like pressure?
I think it's just the context of where you are in life, because sometimes you need to fucking rest. Rest is part of working out. You know what I'm saying?
I used to hate holding myself accountable.
I'll say
It
this.
was so bad when I fell short.
But why? I love making mistakes. I
do too
love
now,
it. I feel like
but, yeah.
all of life is just the fuck. This
I do
shit,
love making
this is
mistakes.
weird. Like I'm gonna do this mistake and I'm gonna make
then
mistakes.
you can recalibrate.
That's what I'm
You've learned
saying.
something from it. But I will say this, and this is a true story. When my father was alive, he's disabled. I put a lot of pressure on myself because it was important for me to make enough money to take care of him.
Right.
So I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Right.
And then it wasn't until he passed that I realized how much pressure that was. And there was a switch. And then I felt free because I had no more pressure that I put on myself. He never put that pressure on me.
Right.
But I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta be successful. I gotta take care of him. I gotta do this for him. I have to do, and then it was like, whoa, wait, I gotta do some stuff for myself.
And to get to that point, you have to be good to get there for anybody else.
And then there was just a switch, and I had to realize I have to do what I have to do for myself.
Yeah.
No pressure, no pressure. And if it is pressure, it's because of what I want and not necessarily my perceived idea of what I have to do for another human person.
And you
I
moderate
just
it
don't.
because you know how much you can handle. And
I
what's
know
fair
exactly
to
what I
put
can
on yourself.
handle. I know.
But I think that's maybe where it comes from. Like sometimes it could be our job. I mean, about kids, I don't know either. Like I'm more on KJ's side. I don't know, but because I know it's our responsibility to change that. Because we learned that behavior.
It
We
is a
learned
learned
that.
behavior.
We learned that.
But it was
should
also
not.
projected in film and television. And what I would like
Absolutely.
is for us to tell more stories about, what like the stories we're telling.
Absolutely.
Like the stories we're telling.
Our sisters.
Shameless. No, not even a shameless plug.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, how does it go? Is it shameless or is it?
Shameless plug, but
Yeah,
this is a
shameless
real
plug.
Shameless
A great
plug.
plug.
Great plug.
The stories that we're telling about
sisters,
women
yeah.
who may or may not choose to have a family.
That's right.
Like, because it was ingrained in us to have a family and because those images were projected on television, that's where the damn pressure came from. It's like, now it's like, you can do what you want.
Everyone should be able to do whatever they want
can
with their
do what
life.
you want.
Generational thing. Adults teach you how to be adults.
Absolutely.
And you have
Yeah.
adults teaching you the wrong way to
Yeah.
be a grown human being. Then
You have a generation of women who don't, are having children they didn't even want, but they just
Right.
felt like they had to have them.
Man.
And then their child, feeling abandoned in this world. And that's not
Right.
fair.
That's not
even
cool.
if their parent is right there. So
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of people can
And
relate
that's
to
why,
that.
like, having it all is just whatever you feel it is.
100%.
And it can change. And it can change.
It can and it will.
And it will change.
I can
will.
have
It
everything I
evolves.
want. I'll say that.
You say it again.
I can
Everybody
have
say it with us.
everything.
Everybody.
I can have
everything I want. Period.
Period.
I will play devil's
Period.
advocate though, with the pressure. I think some of us, I know specifically for me, I needed some pressure. I know that like
Moderate.
And that's fine.
I mean, and but see, God will do that for you though.
Yes.
Like
Preach.
He will.
Not
he
your family.
will- not your family.
That part.
I mean, if you're wise, you'll listen to the signs.
Yes.
When they're whispers. But if you gotta get a brick over the head from the universe, you'll get it. And I know I needed it because of what I wanted, and because God is conspiring with me to get what I want.
Yes.
He did put some pressure
Trust
on me
your journey.
to
Trust
get
your
to where I need to get though.
Period.
So I will say don't live too much in the
Let it all
have some
slide.
intentionality. Have some focus.
Everything should be intentional.
Make some aligned forward action movements.
Yeah.
And then you can have it all.
because you're gonna be looking at other people like, oh, how they
Get
do
what you
that,
put out.
and it's
Always.
like, well, they
It's-
worked,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel that. This is a good session.
This was
Ooh.
good.
Yeah,
My shoulders are loose. My shoulders
Yeah,
loose.
right,
I
we
feel.
went to the spa.
Yeah.
Shoot.
My
A
spirit
talking
good.
massage is what we got.
There's so many coinages happening today.
There is. You touched me with your words.
yes.
So, sisters, do you believe you can have it all? You let us know in the comments. I think you can. She thinks you can.
I know.
She might not think you can
Oh,
because she calls herself a realist.
that's
I love using that word with me.
At any rate, let us know in the comments what your all is. Next time on Real Sister Talk.
you better get that voiceover.